Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Nerd Stuff and Things. If you grew up in the 80s or 90s, your childhood wasn't just defined by Saturday morning cartoons and cereal, it was defined by a specific brand of animated trauma. Today, we are looking at the movies that messed us up, the ones that didn't just make us cry, but fundamentally changed how we viewed the world. We're going deep into the scenes, the stories, and the architects of our grief, like Don Bluth and the Disney New Guard. We'll look at why these creators felt it was necessary to break our hearts. So grab some tissues and prepare to unlock some core memories you've probably spent decades trying to repress. Number one, The Brave Little Toaster, 1987. Produced by Hyperion Pictures and featuring many future Pixar greats, this movie takes the loyalty of inanimate objects and turns it into a Greek tragedy. It isn't about being played with like in Toy Story, it's about the terror of becoming obsolete. Before the adventure even starts, we meet the air conditioner, voiced by the late Phil Hartman. He isn't just grumpy, he's having a psychotic break because he is bolted to the wall and is a prisoner of his own function while the others have the freedom to move. When he overheats, his eyes turning bloodshot as he screams, "It's my function!" before exploding, it's a visceral depiction of a mental breakdown. The Worthless Junkyard. This is arguably the most nihilistic musical number in animation history, as a giant magnet drags cars to their death. They don't cry for help, they sing. What are they singing? Their own obituaries. Each car recounts its glory days right before being crushed into a cube. When the characters are taken to a repair shop, it's framed like a chop shop. We see misfit appliances that have already been surgically altered. A lamp with a different head, a toaster with parts missing. It plays on primal fears of medical trauma and mutilation. Director Jerry Reeves wanted to explore the dark side of consumerism. By giving appliances souls, the film forces children to reckon with the cruelty of throwing something or someone away once they are no longer shiny or useful. All Dogs Go to Heaven, 1989. After leaving Disney in a massive strike, Don Bluth wanted to prove animation could be dangerous. He created a world of smoke filled rooms, gambling, and organized crime. The hit. Charlie B. Barkin is assassinated. This isn't a Disney death where a villain falls off a cliff. It's a calculated murder for insurance money. The silence after the car hits the water is deafening, introducing kids to the concept of cold blooded betrayal. The Hell Nightmare. Bluth, a devotedly religious man, gives us a literal vision of the underworld. Skeletal dragons, rivers of fire, and demons pulling Charlie down created a sense of internal peril that most modern kids' movies wouldn't even dare touch. Anna Marie's frailty. The stakes aren't just magical, they are medical. Towards the end, Anna Marie is shivering, sweating orphan, dying of pneumonia in a burning building. It forces the audience to choose between Charlie's self preservation and the weight of human life. Bluth famously believed that you can show a child anything as long as you provide a happy ending. By showing the pits of hell and the grittiness of crime, he made Charlie's eventual sacrifice feel like a true, hard earned redemption. The Fox and the Hound, 1981. Right as Disney was undergoing a civil war between the legendary Nine Old Men and a rebellious new generation of animators like Glenn Keane and Tim Burton, that internal tension bled onto the screen. Widow Tweed drives Todd into the game preserve to save him from the hunter's gun. It is a betrayal of safe space. Todd thinks they are going for a ride until the music shifts from a cheerful tune to a funeral dirge. When she leaves him in the rain, the camera stays on Todd's face, a look of pure, unadulterated confusion. This was the first Disney film to move away from the musical comedy formula. The new guard of animators fought to keep this scene quiet and somber, stripping away the typical Disney safety net of a funny sidekick cracking a joke to lighten the mood. The moment Copper and Todd meet as adults across the fence, Copper doesn't just say that he can't play, he tells Todd those days are over. In the original 1967 novel by Daniel P. Mannix, the story is a nihilistic tragedy where Copper hunts Todd to death. The new guard at Disney kept the spirit of that tragedy by making the ending bittersweet. They save each other, but they can never be friends again. It taught kids that some things, once broken, stay broken. The Land Before Time, 1988. This was Don Bluth's direct challenge to Disney, partnering with Steven Spielberg and George Lucas. Bluth wanted to create something primal. The Sharp Tooth Attack. This isn't a cartoon fight, it is a slasher movie sequence. The use of shadows, the lightning strikes, and the sheer scale of the sharp tooth compared to the long necks. Industry facts: Spielberg and Lucas actually ordered 11 minutes of footage to be cut from the sequence. The original featured more prolonged biting and screams. Even with cuts, the sequence remains one of the most intense depictions of a predator in animation history. The death of Littlefoot's mother. After the Earthshake, Littlefoot finds his mother in the pouring rain. She doesn't just die, she gives him a mission while she is fading. Dear Littlefoot, do you remember the way to the Great Valley? The most heartbreaking moment isn't the death itself, it's the hallucination afterward. Littlefoot sees a shadow on a rock that looks like his mother. He runs to it, licks the stone, and realizes it's just a cold, unfeeling wall. Bluth used a darker color palette with heavy browns and grays to emphasize hopelessness. He believed that children could handle real stakes, and by killing the mother so early, he forced the audience to feel as vulnerable as Littlefoot for the rest of the film. So, the next time you find yourself getting misty eyed over a fox in the rain or a long neck chasing a shadow, just remember this: those tears were engineered by a generation of artists in the middle of a creative revolution. Whether it was the new guard at Disney fighting to prove they could handle the heavy stuff, or Don Bluth breaking away to show us that even a trip to heaven or a journey to the Great Valley comes with a price, these films weren't just movies, they were survival guides. From an air conditioner's existential crisis to a German shepherd's redemption, they taught us that while the Great Valley is real, the walk to get there is going to be hard, and some goodbyes really are forever. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the era where animation grew up and took our innocence with it. Don't forget to hug your dog, check on your appliances, and we will see you on the next one.